Harvey, the lottery of the draft sent your grandson to the Bulldogs. Can you recap some of the moments of the draft and when his name was called to Whitten Oval?
Yes, I certainly can. We were listening to it on the radio actually, and we were starting to get a bit worried whether he'd get drafted when it got up into the 30s. But we were very pleased when it came out, and we noticed too there was a bit of a lull before when the Western Bulldogs time come up. There was a bit of a lull, and we thought, what's going on here? Anyhow, Michael's name come up, and it was wonderful. We're very pleased right through the whole family.
Have you followed Michael's progression through the junior ranks as a junior through to senior football?
Oh yes, I've seen him play a few games, his school days and things like that, but I've got a lot of grandsons and it takes a bit of getting round to all of them, but yes, he was going along all right.
What about some tips? Did you give him a few tips along the way?
Well, you can't tell him much these days, I don't think, but yeah, I think the tips that I gave him, I think this is the easy part, getting there, but you've got to be able to stay there. I think that's the tip I always give all the boys that.
What does it mean to you, Michael, when you got given the 32 jumper at the Guernsey? How did that feel, knowing that you were wearing the same number that your pa won a Premiership in and a best and fairest?
Yeah, first day at the club I got offered number 8, 20 or 29, all lower numbers. I got given the option of those three. Didn't have time to choose before I think it was Chris Mapes, come up to me and said, "Paddy, Vez Premier's offered you number 32. I jumped at the chance of that straight away. To wear, the Premiership jumper that my pa wore was just, I couldn't have asked for anything more, a better initiation at the club. So yeah, it's been really good.
Have you gone through some of your pa's footage and seen him play?
I've seen bits and pieces in the 1954 Premiership, but no other games, and it's a bit different back then. A lot of long kicks and drop kicks and stuff like that. So, what
about a scrapbook? Have you seen some of his photos? And
yeah, I've seen plenty of photos of Pa. There's actually a couple up in Whitten Oval, up in the grandstand. So yeah, I've seen plenty of photos back in the day when he was playing with the woolen jumpers.
And if you were about it during his time, what type of advice would you have given him as a footballer?
Oh, I'm not too sure actually. Probably just to give it your all, go as hard as you can, I suppose.
And you played as a ruckman back in the 50s. The body or the physique of a ruckman's changed since. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the whole game's changed totally. The whole the game in the ruck certainly changed. It's a different game. Those days we had 4 ruckmen in the team, and usually you changed in a forward or a back pocket, and it was hard in those days, and I think it's very similar to today. It's still just as hard, but it's a different type of game. But when it's all said and done, it's all whoever kicks the goals, isn't it?
And you're a part of the Past Players Club, but how did it feel today going through the facilities and seeing the change in the facilities since you were here, and now Michael gets a chance to play and develop under those facilities?
Oh, these facilities, boy, if we only had these facilities. The ground alone, for a start, it's just so smooth and good. You'd have to put on a couple of yards out there, I'd say. And the facilities in there, like we had, we'd just go in, there was a shower, and we had a big square bath that we all used to sometimes all hop in to get the mud off us, and it was, but we enjoyed every minute of it. There's no doubt about that.